All right, so here's the update on my JJRC. I think it's a C1885. I believe the number is on it. So if you guys all remember, here's a picture of what it looked like. And here's what I did to it. So painted it a different green color. I didn't want it to look army-ish because I got these tires, wheels and tires for it. These are the 1.5 inch from Injora. I've flipped them around because I think they give me a little more depth in the rim, and these are the All-Star Hobby tires. I'll put links to everything. I think I had links already in my other video. So what I did was I took it all apart. You guys have seen that video. I painted the body green. The only thing I didn't paint green, if you'll notice, are the axles and then the cover back here. Just because it went fine, I painted that silvery chrome color. Painted that guy red. I painted the gas at the back, gas tank, and I just made that wheel black. I painted the seats. I just went over them with a brown. I got my driver in there. I've zip tied him in so he stays. And that's really it as far as paint goes. And then I took when you order it through WPL through Asia RC Depot, you get the canopy. I didn't want the canopy, but I think it looks cool rolled up at the back, and I left the bar here green just to keep a hint of the old Army Jeep, and I did the same thing with the dash. I left it the old green, so it just kind of brings in the old look to it a tiny bit. These wheels and tires, I saw somebody who had them, and oops, what's going on here? Hang on. Oh, I think my battery died on this guy. Hang on. Okay, real quick. Lights are working. It's great. Left, right. That's a left turn. The other one's a right turn. My lights came out at the back here. I'll have to put them back in. I'm going to glue them, but the lights are working at the back. Everything's good. It was a pain to take it apart. It was. Going back together went much smoother than I thought it would, to be honest with you. Now, I put this on. I'm just going to turn it off now. Last night, and actually let me let it drives fine. Going back, everything's good. Steering's there. So the only problem I had, and I put a lot of work into it last night that I didn't need to, but it just confirmed, confirmed everything for me, is so these wheels are a lot bigger than the stock wheel. So we're talking that much bigger there, and like that. And the width is a tiny bit. So what happened is when I first put these on and you set it down, see if this corner right here, let me grab something to point with. This corner here, well, this corner was like that, but it was really close. It was like a millimeter away. So when I went to back up, it would grab and it would just stick. So I took my trusty file out and I filed down each rear corner to round it and bring it back a bit, and now it's not a problem. But then in the front, I was catching. So if you look right here on each side, there's like a point. So again, I took my file, I went in and I rounded that a bit, and now I find with the steering, it's not catching. It's good. So I don't know why I just turned it off and I tried to do it. So it's working fine. What I did last night though, is because I did see a few of the Q65 versions of these and people had bigger tires on and it wasn't an issue. I'm like, what's my problem? So I tried to put the axle, or I did actually put the axle on instead of it's on the top of the leaf spring right now, I tried to put it on the bottom of it to bring everything down. Problem is then your axles don't fit, and then these little spring shocks here don't reach and they pull everything up tight, and I didn't want it raised. I wanted it to still kind of be low, right? I'm just trailing with this thing. I'm not climbing. So it didn't work. So I put it back and I figured, okay, maybe I can make some changes to the body. And sure enough, worked out fine. I've got the, probably can't see them, but I've got a 5mm to 12mm adapter on the hex so I can fit these wheels on. You can fit any WPL or MN wheel on here if you want. So I painted all the accessories black. As you can see, I painted the bumpers black. The bumpers are a bit to take off. And I know, I can't remember who it was, but somebody said that this thing looked like it exploded on my desk when I did the video of taking it apart. And it's true. Once it was apart, I was kind of like, oh man, what did I do to myself here? And sorry, I'm just going to get this light back in. And, but going back together, I sat here last night after I had let the paint dry, and I'm looking at it and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to start putting it back together. And before you know it, I was done. The only thing I got to screw with is this rear light, because these lights are somewhat glued in, and this one here didn't come out too well, so I cracked it, and I cracked that one. So I'm just going to I'm going to put a bit of glue on that and push it back in. But other than that, I think it came out great. I got my dude in there driving it. He fits. I actually shaved him down for another project, so half his legs are shaved down so he can fit. The wiring was actually really easy. Everything is kind of pulled together. Oh, the only thing I didn't paint is the inside of the trunk, because it had the Velcro and everything there, so I just left it. But the wire for this spotlight or searchlight comes out, and other than that, you have to unplug the motor and the ESC. That's it. And then you just unscrew the ESC and it comes out. So while it looks like it was a big job, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be honest. So here I am, really happy with it. Just had it for a little tool around the house. That's probably why the battery wore out, and I haven't charged it yet. Yeah, but that's it. I think it looks fantastic. And having looked at the other, when I was having problems with it, I said, oh, why didn't I just leave it like an Army Jeep? Why can't I just leave it alone? Because I saw some and I was really influenced by some people I saw, and I thought, no, I want this. And I had the green already inside, and I thought, I know it's not a Army green or anything, but it still looks like an old Army Jeep that somebody took and kind of revamped and made it a little modern. So yeah, so that's it. Really, really happy with it. One thing I did was, when I had the axles off, I did open them, and they are metal gears in there. There's also, I'll put a shout out on my description. One of my followers and somebody I follow, I can't remember who it was, geez, obviously knows more about these things than I do. And when I was first talking about it, he sent me a message and said that there's metal gears and everything. So that's good. So I opened it up. He is correct. So in the plastic housing, you've got everything that's metal, which is fine. So I put a dab of grease in each. There was a little bit in each one, but I put a little more. I didn't do the gear box yet. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's cool. Turning radius isn't great, but that's okay. I'll work with it. It's for the money, you can't go wrong with it. I ordered another one, actually. I was speaking to my wife, and I said, these things are cheap. They're like 60 bucks Canadian. No, I think it's 60, 70 bucks. Yeah, it works out about 90 bucks Canadian. 90 something, including shipping and everything. Metal gears all through. You can't go wrong with it. You really can't go wrong. So I think worst case scenario, I know some people had issue with the axle. Luckily, I didn't have it. But even if you had to get new drive shafts, big deal. Those aren't expensive. And so I think it's great. So I've got the other one, and I'm going to keep it as a military Jeep. I couldn't pass it up. I figured they'll be gone. Plus, they send you this cover for free through WPL. So through JJRC Depot. I don't know how they're all connected, but they are. So I will send links for that. So it's an affiliate link. So they'll Doesn't get me anything, gives me credit with them, I guess, at some point with WPL. But as it stands now, I think for the money, they're really good products. You might have to tinker with them, but as far as this one goes, this JJRC, they actually have a tank out too now. I think it's the C8812. If you look at, and people are, and it's like $40. People are really US or Canadian. Sorry, so it'll Jesus, hold on, US. So it'll be about 50, $60 Canadian. But still, cool tank. The only problem is it's got the rubber track and everything. And I've noticed with my tank from WPL that stuff easily gets caught in those tracks. Constantly, you're constantly picking stuff out and it stops going. So I think it's just because they're so light, and blades of grass will stop it because they don't make them like a 110 scale or anything. But okay, so here it is. Here's my, I was trying to do some staining. So I painted the body and I came in here and I had my rusted out and I was going to make it look all old and rough, and I did it, and I came back the other morning and I said it looks stupid. So I brought it back in and put another coat of green paint on it. Yeah, man, looks good. I'm really happy with how it came out. I'm glad it drives. I just want to go trailing with it. My drug dealer little buddy here, somewhere to go with it. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. And no, I won't do another unboxing when I get my other Jeep because I've already done one. But I might do a video to show you that I got it. All right, like, subscribe, comments, appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.